Nestled among the swirling nebulas and starlit backdrops of the Zentara galaxy lay the Grand Library of Krell. It stood as a monument to knowledge, a beacon of history and culture for a race priding itself on intellectual supremacy. Among its vast halls and endless rows of data archives wandered Celix, a young Krellian historian with a curious mind and an insatiable thirst for the unknown. Xylix's bright blue skin shimmered under the soft ambient light of the library, his large, expressive eyes scanning the holographic displays that floated around him. His elongated fingers, characteristic of his species, danced over the interactive panels, sifting through centuries of interstellar history. He was searching for something that had puzzled scholars for generations, the reason behind the Krellian Empire's long-standing non-aggression pact with humanity. Krellians, a race of superior technological prowess and strategic intellect, had conquered numerous star systems, establishing a vast and unchallenged dominion. Yet they had always avoided direct conflict with humans, a relatively young species in the cosmic arena. This unusual restraint intrigued Xylix, driving him to delve into the depths of the Grand Library's archives. His search led him to ancient battle logs, diplomatic exchanges, and cultural studies. He discovered accounts of humans' resilience in the face of adversity, their ability to thrive in the most inhospitable environments, and their uncanny knack for innovation. But these traits, impressive as they were, didn't fully explain the Krellians' cautious stance. One day, while immersed in his research, Xylix stumbled upon a forgotten section of the library. Here he found a series of personal memoirs and interviews from Krellian veterans who had encountered humans in various skirmishes and diplomatic missions. Their stories painted a different picture of humanity, one that textbooks and official records seldom mentioned. Xylix read about the Battle of Orion's Belt, where a human fleet, vastly outnumbered, had outmaneuvered and outsmarted a superior Krellian armada through unconventional warfare tactics. He learned of the Siege of Terra, where humans, facing imminent destruction, had united disparate nations in an unprecedented show of solidarity and resilience, turning the tide against an overwhelming enemy. But it was not just their combat prowess that caught Xylix's attention. He was moved by accounts of human empathy and compassion, even towards their enemies. There were stories of human medics treating wounded Krellian soldiers, of human commanders negotiating ceasefires to prevent unnecessary bloodshed, and of human colonies offering aid to Krellian refugees during a galactic crisis. These revelations shed new light on the Krellians' decision to avoid direct confrontation with humanity. It wasn't just fear of their military might, it was a deep-seated respect, and perhaps even fear, of their unpredictable nature and their capacity for both war and peace. Xylix's perspective on humanity and his own race's history began to shift. He realized that the Krellians had much to learn from humans, not just about warfare, but about empathy, unity, and the strength that comes from diversity. His research was turning into more than just a quest for answers, it was becoming a journey of personal growth and understanding. As he delved deeper into the archives, Xylix began to piece together a narrative that would challenge the very foundations of Krellian beliefs about humans and themselves. He was on the brink of a profound discovery, one that could reshape the future of Krellian and human relations forever. But this path of discovery was not without its dangers. Unbeknownst to Xylix, his research was drawing attention from certain quarters within the Krellian hierarchy, who preferred the past to remain buried. Xylix's research soon led him to a clandestine meeting with the Krellian High Council, a group of the oldest and most influential members of Krellian society. The meeting took place in a dimly lit chamber, deep within a space station orbiting Krell, the Empire's capital planet. The chamber, adorned with ancient artifacts and advanced technology, reflected the dichotomy of Krellian culture, a blend of deep-rooted tradition and cutting-edge innovation. The elders, draped in ornate ceremonial robes, listened with a mix of skepticism and concern as Xylix presented his findings. The young historian stood before them, a solitary figure against the backdrop of history, as he passionately recounted the tales of human valor, empathy, and unity that he had uncovered. He brought these stories to life through a holographic display, showcasing pivotal moments where humans had demonstrated extraordinary qualities. Xylix argued that the Krellians' avoidance of war with humans was not out of fear, but out of respect and a subtle acknowledgement of humans' unpredictable nature. He pointed out that throughout galactic history, when other species had underestimated humans, it had often led to surprising outcomes. He emphasized that the Krellians had wisely chosen to coexist with humans rather than attempt to dominate them, recognizing the potential for a mutually beneficial relationship. The elders, however, were not easily swayed. They questioned Exhilarating's interpretations, challenging the idea that humans could be anything more than a tactical nuisance. They warned Exhilarating of the dangers of romanticizing a species known for its volatility and warned him against further pursuing this line of inquiry. Despite their warnings, Exhilarating felt a deep conviction that his discoveries held the key to a greater understanding between Krellians and humans. He believed that by learning from humans' strengths and their unique approach to life and conflict, the Krellians could evolve beyond their current state, which was mired in arrogance and a false sense of superiority. Determined to continue his quest, Exhilarating sought out more direct sources of information. He embarked on a daring journey to the frontiers of Krellian space, where Krellian and human territories met. Here, he planned to interview veterans and eyewitnesses of past human-Krellian encounters, hoping to gain first-hand accounts that would bolster his theories. His journey was fraught with risks. The border regions were volatile, with frequent skirmishes and a deep-seated mistrust between the two species. But Exhilarating's desire for truth drove him forward, pushing him into the murky waters of galactic politics and interspecies relations. As he traveled, Exhilarating encountered a myriad of perspectives. He met Krellian soldiers who spoke of humans with a grudging respect, recalling instances where human ingenuity had turned the tables in battles they thought they had won. He heard stories from traders who marveled at the humans' ability to adapt and thrive in environments that would have been hostile or even lethal to other species. But it was his encounters with humans that truly opened his eyes. He met human diplomats, scientists, and ordinary citizens, each contributing pieces to the complex puzzle of humanity. Through these interactions, Exhilarating began to see humans not as a monolithic entity, but as a diverse and dynamic species, capable of great kindness and devastating wrath. As Exhilarating delved deeper into the border regions, he uncovered a startling truth, one that would challenge everything he thought he knew about the Krellians' relationship with humans. He realized that the story was far more intricate and interwoven than he had ever imagined, hinting at a secret that could reshape the future of both species. Unbeknownst to Exhilarating, his quest was drawing the attention of powerful forces within the Krellian Empire, forces that would stop at nothing to keep the past buried. Exhilarating's journey brought him to a remote human colony, a place where the lines between Krellian and human territories blurred. It was here, under a star-filled sky, amidst a landscape dotted with a fusion of human and alien architecture, that Exhilarating made a groundbreaking discovery. In an ancient, forgotten part of the colony, Exhilarating uncovered a hidden Krellian artifact. The artifact, an enigmatic device glowing with an eerie light, was unlike anything he had ever seen. It was adorned with inscriptions in both Krellian and an old human language. The discovery sent a wave of shock and intrigue through Exhilarating. The existence of such an artifact, bearing both Krellian and human elements, suggested a shared history far deeper and more complex than anyone had imagined. As Exhilarating studied the artifact, he began to unravel its secrets. The inscriptions spoke of a time long forgotten, a time when Krellians and humans had not just interacted but had worked together. They told a story of a joint expedition undertaken by both species to explore the mysteries of the galaxy. This collaborative effort had led to the creation of the artifact, a symbol of unity and mutual respect. This revelation was monumental. It suggested that the non-aggression pact between Krellians and humans was not born out of fear or strategic avoidance, but out of a deep-seated bond, forged in the crucible of exploration and discovery. The Krellians' ancestors had recognized the potential in humans, not just as warriors, but as partners in the quest for knowledge and understanding. Exhilarating knew that this discovery could change everything. It had the power to bridge the gap between Krellians and humans, to transform their relationship from one of cautious coexistence to one of cooperation and perhaps even friendship. But as Exhilarating prepared to bring this information to the public, he realized that there were those within the Krellian Empire who would do anything to suppress it. These forces, fearful of losing their grip on power and wary of change, viewed Exhilarating's discovery as a threat to the established order. Undeterred, Exhilarating worked tirelessly, documenting his findings and preparing to present them to the High Council and the wider galaxy. He knew the risks involved. He knew that he was challenging centuries of beliefs and policies. But he also knew that the truth had the power to reshape the future, to usher in a new era of understanding and collaboration between Krellians and humans. As Exhilarating stood before the High Council, the weight of history upon his shoulders, he presented his findings with a mix of passion and solemnity. He spoke of the artifact, of the shared history, and of the potential for a brighter future. The council listened, their expressions a mixture of surprise, skepticism, and in some cases fear. The revelation sparked a galaxy-wide debate. Many Krellians were moved by the discovery, seeing it as an opportunity to forge a new path. Others, steeped in tradition and suspicion, resisted the idea of changing their stance towards humans. But the truth, once revealed, could not be ignored. Slowly, the dynamics between Krellians and humans began to change. Diplomatic missions increased, cultural exchanges began, and joint ventures in science and exploration were planned. Exhilarating, once a lone historian in search of answers, had become a catalyst for change. His discovery had not only illuminated the past, but had also lit the way for the future. A future where Krellians and humans could learn from each other, work together, and perhaps, in time, even understand each other. In the end, Exhilarating realized that his journey had been about more than just uncovering the past. It had been about paving the way for a future where the phrase "why we don't fight the humans" was not a question of fear or strategy, but a statement of respect, partnership, and hope.